defensively, offensively, nothing. It's just one of those games. They shot lights out and we didn't, and just could never get into the game or get even close to playing with them. So it was just kind of a tough game. And when they on like that, that's what they do. That's what they do best. So they out-rebounded us, turned us over. Just kind of every part of the game, they did really well. And then we get to Arkansas State and don't really have a lead in no part of the game. The first half, they kind of were running transition, getting up and down, getting good shots. And second half, we came out and we started defending and doing a little bit better job of scoring on the offensive side. And, the end of the game, we made a stop. We were up by 1 and 12 seconds left. We put us in a situation where we had to make that stop, and we did. So I was impressed on how we played the second half, really, and how we came back. Seems like we like playing from behind. We've always kind of been like that, like playing from behind and having to try to come back and fight back. But good road trip to Split, I guess, and back home. And hopefully we can kind of keep it going.
I know you got to play ULM first, but what about just kind of looking forward and like playing someone that you got beat so bad by so quickly? Could that be a positive, or how do you look at that? How do you approach that?
Oh, the year that Arkansas State won 27 games and they were really good, we played them on the last day of conference, and they beat us by 55 maybe. And then we turned around and played them on a Tuesday and had a shot at the buzzer to win the game. Actually, they should have been called a charge at the end of the game, and it would have been a different story. We would have had the ball. But they missed the free throws. We came down. We missed a wide-open three to win the game. And so it just, So you kind of forget you don't really forget what you did, but I think the kids' attention, knowing as much as they pushed the ball and all that, and how they scored a lot of points in the paint on layups and stuff, that it helped us in Arkansas State game to be focused more, that we got to get better at it. So now going into that game, we know if we don't get back and guard them, it's going to be another long night.
Coach, on Saturday in the second half, you outscored them by 10. What adjustments did you make at halftime?
Well, I think we kept on. I think it was on the defensive side. When we start making stops and all that. And then Jalen James played really well, I think everybody saw that she was playing well, so we had a lot of dribble penetrations, kick to her, and she didn't hesitate. Her and Brandy played really, really well that second half. So I think we were a little bit harder to guard. I think we would be a little bit more aggressive, too. We talk about being aggressive on the offensive side as on the defensive side, but I thought that second half, especially the fourth quarter, I thought we were really aggressive.
Can you talk about the ice running through Tamara Johnson's veins to get up there at the free throw line? Is that the one you want on the line to take those last 2 free throws to win the game? Could that have been more perfect for her being the one on the line?
Yeah, she's a really good free throw shooter, but she's just real focused. She doesn't get too emotional and stuff, and that's the kind of kid you do want, And she works so hard at it. If you'll see before practice and after practice, she's always on the line. She's always on the line practicing, warming up. That's the main thing. When everybody else is getting water, if you notice in practice, she's at the line. She's always, working on her free throws and all. So it's confidence that she's built within herself, and we're confident in her. If there's a technical foul, she's shooting a free throw. Her or Brandy, they're both really good free throw shooters.
So what do you do with Jalen now? She's had 2 of her last 4 games, career highs. If there's a role change at all, do you try to do a little more with her than you were thinking 4 or 5 games ago, or do you just kind of let it go?
I don't think you have to try to do more. She's going to do more. Like when she's going to get an open shot, she's never seen a shot she don't like. She's going to shoot it, and that's one thing that's good. She's either going to shoot it really well or maybe not shoot it well, and we got to make adjustments from that standpoint and pull her if she's not shooting it as well. But she's been in practice. She's finally spending some time outside of practice, really working on her shot and all that. And so I think it's paying off. Now, can she get consistent, And that's what I'm telling her all the time. I haven't changed. It's her change that has made it better, by putting more time into her game.
Bigs didn't play hard at all on Saturday. Is that just a matchup thing, or is that sort of also going forward? And where are you better offensively or better defensively when you have the smaller lineup?
Yeah, I think we're better defensively too, I really do. We struggle a little bit more on the offensive side, maybe playing a little small inside, because our bigs are a little bit better on the inside, on the offensive side, but the defensive side, I mean, I tell you what, our guards can guard anybody in the post, man. You know, you look at D. Rice and Brandy and all them, they get in there and they'll battle. I mean, Brandy got that last rebound over a post player. So, I mean, they can battle. And I think we're just better. I think we can play faster. I think we're more of a matchup problem when we do play small. You know, when we play big, we're a little bit slower. Our defensive transition is not as good, and that's one of the main things that we try to stay away from. So, I mean, moving forward, I guess it's going to be maybe when we do play maybe a half-court team that's bigger, we'll move our bigs in and out. But when you're playing those transition-type teams, man, we got to be able to get up and down and able to slow them down.
What have you seen out of ULM?
Different team. You know, they can score. They remind me of Georgia Southern, a little bit of Troy, and all. They coming down and one-pass shot, and there's some things that I think we can do defensively to kind of slow that down a little bit. But yeah, they're a lot better. I think a lot of transfers that came in. You know, she was a junior college coach, so she was able to kind of get a bunch of transfers in, and they're playing really well right now.
Feel good to be home for a little bit? Feel good to play at home for a little bit?
Say that again?
Feel good to play at home a little bit?
I don't know, man. It's like it's been so long, man. It's just, and the thing about it is like we haven't been in the dome, you know, with Mardi Gras and all the other things. So I can't remember the last time we practiced in the dome. Today we practice in, in the Mall Club because of, I don't know, they have some kind of event or whatever, or they don't have the floor down yet or whatever. So we hopefully get in there tomorrow. And I don't know, it's almost like you're on the road when you don't get to practice in it, you know. So, but it's good to sleep in your own bed for sure. That bus ride, you know, especially coming back from Arkansas was long, and then from Troy to go to Arkansas was long too. But yeah, it's a lot easier to be home, I think, for the kids too, because we missed, 3 or 4 days of school too.
Feels good to win with the win though.
Yeah.
Destiny is having to play more post defense, and she doesn't, she's got the physicalness to do it. But is that impacting her offensive game? Because she's not a shooter, but she seems like she's not scoring as much as she can.
Yeah, I think you're right. She's more of a scorer, but, it's like I think sometimes we put too much pressure on her to score, I'm always talking to her about distributing. Hey, you got Brandy on the left side, on the left wing, and you might have Jalen on the right wing when they're playing together, or even when Lene's going to come back, and you got some scorers out there, T's the same way, and all that. So I think sometimes we put pressure on her to score, and I think that's what kind of throws off her game, I thought, honestly, that everybody said, well, she didn't score these last couple of games, but, boy, she really played well. I thought she played well for us to distribute and find those shooters at the right times and stuff like that, and I think that's her job, Does it take away from her offense? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I think she's a tough kid, man. She knows how to play basketball. She knows how to win. I think that's the big thing. She's one of the smartest kids I've ever coached, She knows the game as much as our coaches do. And, just a matter of, and I don't think she takes plays off neither. And you're probably right. Some people take plays off in certain times so they can be able to play 30, 40 minutes. She doesn't take plays off. She plays. And so we've been kind of alternating her and TR a little bit to give them a rest and keep them fresh.
So playing two teams that are somewhat similar offensively, as opposed to playing like a James Madison, could that help you this week? I
think so too. I think it can help us on a second game too. It's like and depending how we play, sometimes you almost have to fail to be able to be successful. I mean, I hate to say it, I hear that a lot from a lot of coaches now. Is like, you use those failures to figure out what you did wrong and what you need to change and stuff like that. So I think the Troy game, helped us in the Arkansas State game because they were pushing it up too. And we went into practice on the Thursday, really working on defensive transition, and I noticed some things that we wasn't getting back into the lane. I was like, whoa, I didn't really notice it that much in the game itself until you go watch film and stuff. But I thought we did a better job of making sure we always had somebody in the lane to get back, not just to cover out on the threes, but to also cover out in the lane.